Hello everybody, it's me Ross and welcome back to another video. Today I'm joined by Charlie Gregory, the man who covers all things Salford City. Charlie, thanks for joining me. We're here today to discuss and get some insight on Corrie Ndaba, of course, on loan with the League Two side. Unfortunately, he's been out injured for the last few months, but had a bright start. How was he doing overall before that injury? And thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, it was a really interesting start to the season that he had. Started very promisingly. He was what Salford needed really in the back line, a bit of pace, strength, power. He was sort of replacing Deshaun Bernard, who spent the season at Salford last year, who's now at Hull City actually in the Championship. So that shows you how big of a void he sort of left in the heart of Salford's defence. And to be fair to Ndaba, when he came in, he's really impressed. But like you say, he's had a season that's sort of been plagued by injury, which has been unfortunate because, he was showing real promising signs at the start of the campaign.
Yeah, he made 12 appearances in total, and this is his make or break really season to. I wouldn't say make and break really because he's only 22 years of age, but he's had a loan spell at Ayr before in Scotland. This is an opportunity for him to really get some, first team minutes in League Two. So it has been a shame. Have Salford missed him since he's been out injured? I think his last game he played was in late October, so he's been out for a while.
Yeah, massively. I think I don't think anybody really expected him to have the impact that he has had at Salford because, like you say, he didn't really have too much experience before he came into the club. But he established himself as one of the starters at the start of the season. And I think one of his biggest assets for Salford as well is the fact that he's been able to play in a variety of positions. I think this season he's played in centre back, but also at left back and holding midfield as well. So it sort of says a lot about his technical ability and his knowledge of the game, really. So yeah, they have missed him. I think Salford this season have really been hampered by injury throughout the entire campaign. Obviously, they're not really where they'd want to be. Obviously, they're always ambitious of getting into the playoffs or being in the promotion shout. And I think Ndaba's basically been he's shown what this season's all been about, really. They could have been good if they'd been playing consistent football, but because of the injuries, they're just not quite where they want to be. So I think if they can get him back into the team, obviously he's recovering from injury now, that'll be a real key factor for Salford in the season.
Definitely, and I saw he was back on the bench on the weekend in their 2-0 win. So I'm sure he's they're just assessing him, bedding him back into the squad, easing him in after that long term out injured. How will he fit in? What sort of formation does Salford play? And what has been his strengths when you have seen him playing? Are Salford fans liking him?
Yeah, well, it's interesting actually because at the start of the season, Gary Bowyer sort of favoured a back four. But because of the injuries and the COVID issues that they've actually had to switch formation and they now play a back five, which I think from looking at Ndaba's ability and his sort of attributes, I think he's more suited to a back three or a back five, slotting either side of the central centre half because like I say, he can play left back, he can play holding midfield as well. So he's got that ability on the ball and he's pacey and strong and good in the tackle. So everything you'd sort of want from one of those outside centre halves. So it'll be interesting to see when he is bedded back into the team, how he'll fit in that sort of back five system because, yeah, I think he'd be a real sort of strong centre half in that system.
Yeah, and as I said, this is his first proper good loan spell out. He's had to wait for minutes to play for Ipswich Town. I think he knew he needed to go out there and get some proper men's football. As I said, he went to Scotland in Ayr, which is, of course, proper men's football as well because it's in Scotland. But how has he really got on against strikers of League Two? And what do you think Town fans can be excited about when he does return? I know fans have been waiting for him to make some first team minutes at Town, but I'm sure this loan has been beneficial, even though he's had his injuries.
Yeah, I think League Two is a fantastic league for these young players to go and get some experience. It will have been a great education for him so far because there's a fair few sort of elbows thrown, let's say, from centre forwards of opposition sides. It is physical, it is tough. Do you know what? I think League Two is actually a lot more technical than a lot of people give it credit for as well. So he'll be learning a lot about the game. it's just all about getting those minutes in. That's what's cost him so far this season. Because, like I say, he's been a great player for when he has featured for Salford, but the injuries have sort of really set him back quite a bit. So, yeah, the next 6 months are going to be interesting for him to see how he can, if he can get back into the team. Because obviously, like I said, he was on the bench at the weekend. And when he does, will he sort of continue to sort of grow in the starting 11 like he was at the start of the season? So, yeah, it'll be a big 6 months for him, but I'm sure the more he gets on the pitch, the more he'll be developing every week.
Definitely, and of course, hopefully he will be part of that playoff push for Salford. As you said, they always want to be around that. They're currently, as we're recording this video, they're 12th, 5 points off the playoffs. So hopefully he can be part of that team that has that promotion push.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're always going to be there or thereabouts, Salford, because that is the expectation, and they have got a squad that's been assembled of players from League One and above, and captains and people who've got promotions on the CVs already. So they'll certainly be there. And obviously, like I say, if he can get back in, then it'll be a big sort of asset to Salford moving forward. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he sort of gets on and how he copes, because, like I said, there's a lot of similarities between him and Deshaun Bernard, and Bernard was a key factor last season for Salford in their sort of quest for promotion. I think they missed out on goal difference in the end to the playoffs. So if Ndaba can sort of replicate the Bernard effect, then they'll certainly be in with a shout.
And one final note, really, because Corey is a great character as well. He's larger than life Irishman. So what's he been like with the fans? And I'm sure they've been missing him. And hopefully, as I said, he can just play some more minutes again and be part of that Salford side.
Yeah, I think you can tell that he's got a big personality, and you can see it from the way that he plays and the way that the team plays as well. I think they play with a bit more sort of aggression, a bit more on the front foot, a bit more confidence, I guess you could say as well. Because when you've got a player with his ability on the ball in the sort of the heart of your defence, you can give him the ball in a tight area, and you're confident that he's going to get out of it. So yeah, we'll just have to sort of see with him, really. I mean, I think he will be a really big player for Salford, and then hopefully for Ipswich in the future as well. I was saying to you as well off air as well that I think Kieran McKenna will probably be keeping an eye on him, because if he has switched formation and he sticks with his sort of back three at Ipswich, then I think Ndaba would fit into that perfectly in the future. And I know that a lot of people at this stage in the season, a lot of Salford fans would say that they'd rather have Ndaba than they would Cameron Burgess. So I wonder if that'll sort of change for McKenna too. But yeah, we'll have to see. Like you say, still young, so with a strong second half of the season, then I have no doubt that he'll probably be managing to force his way into the equation at Ipswich in no time at all.
I hope so too. I know Corey, that's what he wants to do. That is his aim, his future aim. I know he's done interviews and articles and saying, his aim is to play the first team at Ipswich Town. So I'm excited. I'm excited what you just said. Hopefully he has a good end of the season. Charlie, thanks for joining me. Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
No, not at all. Good luck for the rest of the season, I guess.
Definitely, and best of luck to Corey at Salford. Let us know in the comments your thoughts, your feelings on Corrie Ndaba. Are you excited for his future at Ipswich Town? We'll have to wait and see. As Charlie said, bye for now.